So last lesson we had a look at the cosine rule, and we talked about the fact that the cosine rule, we needed to label our triangle first, we then needed to do our need and got list, and we're going to be using two formulas, one for the sides, which is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of capital A. Okay, we know that. And then for the angle, we know that it's A is equal to cos to the minus 1 of b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. These were the two formulas which I've got. So we've got an actual past paper question here. This came up in June 2007 on the Excel paper. So have a go. I'll just move that down so you can use those there. So have a go at this question here, and then I'll go through it in a little second. So have a little go at that question there. Alright, let's go through this then. So we're being asked for the length x to z. Now, always, the first thing that I always do with all of these questions is I label what I want as A. Now, I want this side over here, so I'm going to call this little a, which means that this over here is capital A, and it doesn't matter which way around these are, so I'm going to call this one capital B, which means that this one here is little b, and this one here capital C, which means this one here is little c. Brilliant. So I write my need and got list, need slash got. In this case, I need little a, and I've got capital A, I've got little b, and I've got little c. So I ask the question, do I have a matching pair in my got list? No, which means that I use the cosine rule. Okay? The answer is no, I don't have a matching pair in my cosine rule. Because I'm trying to find my side, I'm using a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a. So let's sub that in. A squared is equal to b squared, which is 12.4 squared, plus c squared, which is 9.3 squared, minus 2 times 12.4 times 9.3 cos of A, which is 38 there, like so. So let's type that into my calculator. So 12.4 squared plus 9.3 squared minus 2 times 12.4 times 9.3 cos of 38. Now remember, a lot of people make a mistake there and leave that as their answer. So I'm going to write all of that down, 58.53, but actually this is equal to a squared, isn't it? So a squared is equal to 58.50319971, but I need to square root this answer, so I press square root of the answer, that's the one I had previously, and that's going to give me, I'll write the full number down and then I'll round it, so A is equal to 7.64 87384444. Now he wanted to 3 significant figures, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3 significant figures. This means I'm going to round up, so A is equal to 7.65 centimetres. Brilliant. 3 marks for that. And if you know what you're doing, it's a bit of a gift, isn't it? Because it's not actually that hard. Alright, so have a little go at this one here. Now this one here is a little bit different because we've got to work out the angle on this one. So have a little go at this one here. Go at this one together. Let's have a little go. So remember, you always label what you want as A. So in this case, I want that angle at the top. So I'm going to call this here capital A, which means that the opposite one is little a. This one here is B. This one here is little b. This one here is C. This one here is lowercase c. You've got to remember what these formulas are. So, sorry, I need to do my need and got list first, don't I, to check that it's cosine. So I need capital A. I've got lowercase a, I've got lowercase b, I've got lowercase c. So do I have a matching pair here? No. So I use the cosine rule. Now because I'm trying to find my angle, it's A is equal to cos to the minus 1 of b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc, like so. Let's sub that in. Cos to the minus 1 of 9 squared plus 16 squared minus 20 squared all over 2 times 9 times 16. Close that bracket. Let's type that into my calculator. So, shift cos to the minus 1 of my fraction button, which is 9 squared plus 16 squared minus 20 squared all over 2 times 9 times 16. Close that bracket on the right, which is equal to 102.6 to 1 decimal place. 100, so A is equal to 102.6. It's 6.3, so it rounds to 6 to 1 decimal place. There we go. 3 marks for that. Again, another gift if we know what we're doing. Perfect. They've done it to 3 significant figures. That's fine. Alright. One more question to have a little go at, and I thought I'd put this one in here just to kind of see if it tricks you up a little bit. So have a go at this one yourself. Think about what those 2 little lines mean there. I'll give you a clue. It means they're isosceles, so they're the same. So have a go at this one. Probably give you too much of a hint there. Have a go at this one yourself. So let's have a go at it together then. So I think I gave you a big hint there, didn't I? And I said that what do these lines mean? Well, it means that they're the same. So that this one over here is 8 centimeters as well. That's your first little hint. Now it's asking for P to R, which is this bottom one. So I'm going to label this one here as lowercase a, which means that this one up here is A. And then I can label these whatever else I want. So I'll call this one B, this one B, this one C, this one lowercase c. Brilliant. I'm trying to find the length of this, so I need to use the cosine. Oh, I need to do my need and got list first, don't I? Because I can't guarantee that they're not the sine rule. So I need lowercase a. I've got capital A. I've got lowercase c, and I've got lowercase b. So do I have a matching pair on my got list? The answer is no. So I'm going to be using the cosine rule. Okay? That's really important, this step, because you need to figure out which rule that you are using. So it's going to be a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a. Let's sub it all in. A squared is equal to 8 squared plus, plus 8 squared, it is 8 squared, minus 2 times 8 cos of a, which is 140. Let's type it all in. So 8 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 8 cos of 140 is equal to 226.05. So it's 226 point, I'm going to write it all down, 0.53687. And if I square root that, let's do it over here. So we know what we're doing here. We're going to do square root of my answer, which is equal to 15. What does it want it to? Doesn't say. 3 significant figures, it does. So 15, now be careful with this, because it says 3 significant figures. So 15.0350819. That's the full number. So to 3 significant figures, this is going to be 50150 line there. This means it's going to stay the same. So actually the answer is 15.0 centimeters, and you would need that 0.0 because that's the 3 significant figures. Okay, so let's just check that. You would lose a mark if you got that wrong. 15.0 c. Brilliant. I'll give you a second to get that down. Alright, so if you're catching up, have a go at these questions here. So if you're catching up, have a go at these questions here. Pause now and have a go at these if you're catching up. And if you're catching up, here's the answers.